Hello and welcome. My name is Mark and this is Hook and Blade, formerly known as the Gentleman Shooter. It's been quite a while. I've taken a little hiatus over the past couple years and haven't really given this channel any attention, but I am back with lots of new things to talk about. More fishing trips, new rigs, and new knives. So today I'm going to be giving you a look at the Gerber Quadrant, just giving you my thoughts on it after having it for about a week with consistent daily use. What I like about it, what I don't, and where I might decide to go with my everyday carry tool. So let's dive in and take a look at the Gerber Quadrant. All right, let's come in for the close-up here. So when I purchased this knife, I did not know anything about it. I did no prior research. I just saw it on the peg. And it is packaged open in like a blister pack. So you can see the entire profile of the knife. And that is what caught my eye and made me want to buy it. I really like the bamboo handle. You can also purchase this knife with a white handle, and that's pretty cool. I think that would look really sharp, but I prefer the natural material. I also did not have a sheep's foot blade prior to this knife, and that's something I really wanted in my collection. I really like this blade because it is not as aggressive looking as something with a point or a drop point. In fact, it kind of looks like it should be one of those flip open combs. The blade is razor sharp out of the box. I was able to shave and cut things no problem. Cutting through paper, it wasn't smooth like butter, but it did make the cut. I was able to get through your common Amazon cardboard box without any problem. I did need to saw just a little bit, as you can see in the footage, but it was able to cut through that. I did see complaints about the lack of a point makes it a little less useful for daily tasks. I disagree, and I think that this point right here is perfect for starting. So within the cardboard, without an edge, I was able to puncture and begin cutting, no problem. The blade does not keep an edge very well. It is a softer metal, and it's 7CR. It's a Chinese metal that is for cheaper knives. So yeah, this is a made in China knife, $30 price point, and with everything I like about it and how it has performed, I can't complain about the price point and what I'm able to do with it. So it's got a 2.7-inch blade, and then it's a frame lock. So you can see the locking mechanism right here. I will gripe a little bit about that. Everything about this knife is stiff. You will see that in any other review. So the closing of it, you have to be very intentional with pushing that mechanism over. There's just not quite enough there for my thumb to catch. So I end up biting my thumb every time. It bites my thumb every time I go to close it. And you really have to be intentional with how you push that over. There's not enough there for me to use the side of my thumb, and I have to use the flat of my thumb. But if you do that, you end up pushing into the handle more than across to get that blade down. There is a stop right there. So there's a stop on the way down, and then it's in the same place, obviously, on the way up. Again, that goes against the idea that a finger flicking blade is supposed to be quick. And that's the other big gripe. People want to be able to open this with just flicking the finger. And it is too stiff to do that. You have to add a little wrist flick to get it open. Again, I don't think that that's bad manufacturing. I think it's intentional. Because of that price point and the way it looks, I think it's going to be kind of it would be a common knife for people who are just more into the aesthetic than the usefulness. And it's a little safer, I think, for people who are not used to knives to have a slower open and close. But then again, with it being a sheep's foot blade and maybe a little more desirable for emergency workers, you're going to want a faster opening and closing. Now, I've seen 2 people take this apart to clean it, and it is not user friendly. And again, because of that price point, it's designed to be thrown away when it's, I guess, busted. These T-screws, I guess, are very, very soft and easy to mangle. People tried to take it apart and lube it up so it opens smoother. There are brass washers in there, or brass colored, which is kind of cool. I'm not sure if that's good, bad, or otherwise, but I like the way it looks. They're two different sizes too. We got a deep pocket clip here that I really, really like. My biggest complaints with pocket clips is that when they have a wider profile, they catch on things. They catch on doors or corners or trim, or when I'm sitting down on a chair, and that really always bothers me, but this one has done really well. It sits nice and close to the fabric while it's in my pocket, and then the overall size of the knife keeps this thing pretty unnoticeable while it's in my pocket. So I use this on cardboard as well as some wood, some kiln dried, ready to burn wood, just to see how it would work. Obviously, you don't want to use this kind of blade for whittling or feathering, but it did it. It did beat up the blade pretty bad when I came in and sharpened it. I purchased this Smith's Pocket Pal at the same time. I just, every morning before going out, I just run the blade through it a few times, and you can feel it smoothing out the nicks. And by the time you get to the 7th pull through, it's pretty smooth. So yes, you are going to need to maintain the blade. If you use it often, you'll want to maintain it daily. And to some, that's maybe a major drawback, especially if you're going to use it for heavy use. But if that is your intention, this knife's not for you anyways. You're going to want something different. I realized while using it that having a nice non-aggressive looking knife for, that dad use, opening boxes, breaking down cardboard, just getting little jobs done around the house, it's really nice, but I'm missing a screwdriver. I went and opened a new toy for my daughter, was able to get it out of the package very easily, but the way they package toys now, they put screws in through the packaging into the toy. Sometimes they're finger screws, and sometimes they're actual manufactured screws that you need a screwdriver for. So I ended up needing to get a second tool anyways. And here is where the Quadrant has actually left me. I am on a search for a good knife plus screwdriver that can be both Phillips and flathead. I love this. I love the size of the Quadrant. I love the profile. I love the deep pocket clip. It just needs a screwdriver. The Gerber armbar is close, but the slim, armbar slim, remove the pocket clip, has keychain holders. So you either got to keep it on your keychain, which is not what I want to do, or you have to let it be loose in your pocket, which is not what I want to do either. I would love like a buck Stockman or a jackknife where the second blade has that hybrid Phillips flat on the tip. So you could have your main blade and then a second blade with that special tip. I don't know if that's possible, but I don't want to have to go to a Leatherman, which is twice the size. I don't like having that bulkiness in my pocket. I have two leather Wingman multi-tools, and I love them, but I hate carrying them around. And it just seems like if I want the exact tool that I'm looking for, I've got to drop down below like $15 and get some off-brand hunk of junk. I would love for a Buck or a Gerber or a Case that has a main blade and a secondary blade with that Phillips / flathead tip, or a dedicated screwdriver. That would be really cool. So if you know of something, help me, point me in the right direction. My research so far is not finding it's not helping me find what I'm looking for. Well, that is everything I have to say about the Gerber Quadrant. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.